What if everything we were taught about the dawn of civilization is fundamentally wrong? For decades, we believed that humanity followed a strict, predictable path. First came the crops, then the cities, and only then the monuments. But buried beneath the dusty hills of modern-day Turkey lies a truth that shatters that timeline. A massive stone-carved enigma that shouldn't exist, built by people who, by all our definitions, shouldn't have been capable of it. Welcome to Epoch Unseen. Today, we are traveling back 12,000 years to a place that defies the logic of modern science. This is Göbekli Tepe. It is not just an archaeological site. It is a chronological anomaly that has forced historians to rethink the very essence of human progress. As we peel back the layers of dust and stone, we must ask ourselves, were we truly primitive? Or is there a forgotten chapter of our history waiting to be read? To understand the magnitude of this discovery, we must first look at the traditional timeline of human development. For a century, the consensus was clear. Hunter-gatherers were nomadic. Small-scale groups focused solely on survival. It was only after the advent of agriculture, the domestication of plants and animals, that humans could settle down, create surplus food, and build complex societies. Architecture, we believed, was a byproduct of a settled lifestyle. But Göbekli Tepe turns this entire progression on its head. Built roughly around 9600 BCE, this monumental complex predates the advent of agriculture in the region by thousands of years. This means these massive structures were not built by farmers, but by hunter-gatherers. The very people we once dismissed as simple wanderers were actually capable of massive, coordinated engineering projects long before they ever planted a single seed. The sheer scale of the site is staggering. It is a massive, monumental complex built on a rocky mountaintop, featuring T-shaped pillars that weigh many tons. These are not mere stones. They are masterfully sculpted monoliths. When you realize this site is approximately 12,000 years old, the implications become overwhelming. We are looking at a level of organization that challenges everything we thought we knew about the Neolithic era. Consider the comparison. Göbekli Tepe predates Stonehenge by approximately 6,000 years. While Stonehenge is a marvel of the ancient world, it is a mere infant compared to the structures found here. We are looking at a civilization that was already expressing complex symbolic thought and architectural prowess, while the rest of the world was seemingly just trying to survive the end of the last ice age. Let's dive into the evidence. The pillars at Göbekli Tepe are not just standing. They are decorated. They feature intricate, high-relief carvings of animals: lions, scorpions, vultures, and foxes. These aren't crude scratches. They are sophisticated artistic expressions. This level of detail requires not just tools, but time, specialized skill, and a shared cultural language that we previously thought didn't exist in such an early period. The construction itself presents a massive logistical mystery. How did hunter-gatherer groups without wheels, pack animals, or metal tools move these multi-ton stones across rugged terrain and hoist them into place? This requires a level of social hierarchy and centralized command that archaeologists previously believed was only possible in settled agricultural societies. It suggests a level of social complexity that was completely unexpected. This discovery forces us to reconsider the agriculture-first model. For a long time, the theory was that surplus food from farming allowed for the creation of a specialized class of builders and priests. But Göbekli Tepe suggests the opposite. Perhaps it was the need to gather for massive ritualistic projects that actually drove the development of agriculture. Perhaps religion and monumentality were the catalysts for civilization, rather than its result. If we accept that these hunter-gatherers were capable of this, we must ask, who were they? Were they a lone anomaly, or the remnants of a much older, more sophisticated precursor society that has been lost to the sands of time? The sheer precision of the site suggests a knowledge of geometry and astronomy that seems out of place for the 10th millennium BCE. It feels like we are looking at the echoes of something much greater. The mystery deepens when we consider how the site was abandoned. Evidence suggests that Göbekli Tepe was not destroyed by war or natural disaster, but was intentionally buried. The entire complex was covered with earth and debris, preserving it for millennia. Why would a civilization spend centuries building something, only to deliberately hide it away? Was it a ritual act, or an attempt to protect something from a changing world? As we look closer at the carvings, some researchers suggest they represent a complex mythology, or even a celestial map. The animals depicted aren't just random, they follow patterns. Could these stones be a library of lost knowledge, a way for a pre-literate society to record their understanding of the heavens and the earth? We are essentially trying to read a book where the pages have been turned to stone and buried under the dirt. The implications of Göbekli Tepe are profound. They challenge our very identity as a species. If our ancestors were capable of such monumental feats, long before the dawn of the cities we called civilization, then our history is far more complex, far more mysterious, and far more incredible than we ever dared to imagine. We are not just a species that learned to farm. We are a species that has been building, dreaming, and reaching for the stars for much longer than we thought. Göbekli Tepe remains an open wound in the side of traditional archaeology. It is a reminder that there are still massive gaps in our collective memory. As more excavations continue, we may find that this is just the tip of the iceberg, the first glimpse of a lost world that we are only just beginning to rediscover. The past is not as settled as we think. It is waiting to be unearthed. If you want to continue exploring the shadows of our forgotten past, make sure to subscribe to Epoch Unseen. We dive into the mysteries that history books leave behind. Join us as we uncover the secrets of the lost, the ancient, and the unexplained. Thank you for watching.